We started with the idea that there was an explosion of access of available inventory in mobile. It's a tremendous amount of mobile display impressions, tremendous amount of mobile video impressions, but there was no way to uniquely identify those impressions one from another. And we started to understand in talking to the buy side of the world that dollars were not flowing into the mobile ecosystem at the same rate that they were flowing into PC display and other more mature channels because of the lack of addressability. And we focused our strategy on how can we help bring addressable technologies into cookieless based technologies, and that was the vision of what we wanted to solve for. We felt like mobile was the right beachhead at the time in which we started the company. It was a maturing market. There was massive amounts of adoption, tremendous interest from brands, but the click-through rate was not the measure of what they needed. And so that led us to pursuing a technology platform that was focused initially on mobile. And we work primarily with publishers or customers who have a first-party relationship with the consumer that have the appropriate terms of service that allow us to facilitate our technology as a service provider to make them more money. Through the authentication process, we're able to, through a set of encryption technologies and customized APIs that we built with third-party data providers, we're able to connect the dots between the consumer and all of the third-party information that exists about that consumer. So instead of knowing that someone is on a mobile gaming application and they're a certain age because they registered that, you know, when they signed up for the game, we now know that they're of a certain group of age, of gender, of household income, and we may even know that they're in market to buy a car. So those are the things that we focus on, are how do we bring the data into the system that sells products off a shelf or off of a lot for a car manufacturer. AT&T and Verizon know a tremendous amount about their subscribers. Probably some of them may have equitable amount of information, but in many cases they own the account relationship with the consumer and they don't own the content. So we really focus primarily on enabling this through the content partnerships. So if you can imagine, there's a limited amount of footprint of content that AT&T produces and puts in the market that they own. So we help focus on those publishers that have their own sites and can and need services like ours in order to capture more revenue from their direct sales organization or through third-party demand sources in the agency trading world, etc. Our goal is to provide and surface that information and let other technologies that optimize against that data do what they normally do. So we're not trying to solve the whole stack. We're trying to help the publisher identify attributes about that consumer, provide those to advertisers or agencies in a privacy compliant manner, and allow them to utilize their DSPs and systems to optimize delivery and all the things that they've already built technologies around. So we were trying to fit you know, a square peg into a round hole, if you will, and by doing what we do with the addressable technologies piece of our platform, that flows in and looks very similar to how they read a cookie, and it allows them to execute in another screen, basically. We've continued to find with our partnerships on the publisher side that they continually are expanding into new screens. So that's driven us to support new viewing habits. So you know, whether that's on the mobile device, on a tablet, on the PC, maybe even connected television. It's really about how do we bring access to more of this addressable inventory across those formats that are without a cookie. We have around 160 million monthly uniques in which we identify attributes about consumers on behalf of our publishers, and some of that inventory stays within their own walls and they sell on their behalf, and some of that is connected with their strategic partners on the demand side. So we're a platform that helps facilitate the rules in which their customers have accepted, against their terms of service. So quite large, I would say, as it relates to an audience base, and quite strong in the types of attributes and data that are associated with it.
So listen, learn, speak, provoke, but most of all, just drink it in and enjoy.